Hey guys, Luis Moreno here, 360 Insurance Group. Thank you for watching my video today. I have a guest, Evan McGuffey from Tennessee. Is that correct?
Mhm.
From Tennessee. Evan is a Medicare agent who developed MediZues. And so we're going to introduce his software to you guys. It is something that I think all of us agents should have. It's a great retention tool. We're going to talk about all the features on it and how you can get it. But Evan, man, thank you for being on today's recording, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Luis. Thank you very much. You're the one who trained me up for the past 2 years, so gonna give back.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I love it. Evan has been an agent for a couple of years, and one of his great statistics, which I think is incredible, his first year in Medicare, he sold 600 MAPDs. Guys, that's huge. You're like, oh, what does that really mean? You know, I'm gonna do some quick math. I should have had this ready, but I'm gonna break out my calculator. 600 policies. Well, it might be hard for you. Nope, there it is. $180,000 in income. So it is some serious production. I know it takes agents probably 4 to 5 years to do that in 1 year. He did it in 1 year. And during that time, about a year ago, I had a conversation with Evan where he's like, hey, dude, I've come up with this program. He had an idea. It was at the beginning just like a commission tractor. And I'm like, hey, that would be pretty cool. But it's developed into something totally different. So with that, before he shares what he has, guys, make sure you do me a favor and comment on this video. I answer every single comment. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you have not, and share this with your colleagues, guys. I'm trying to grow this channel, so I would appreciate that love. Evan, let's talk about MediZues, man. Let's let these agents,
Yeah,
let's talk about what the program can do for us agents.
yeah. So let me just rewind a tiny bit. I wrote 600 policies in that first year, but what I saw was about 100 to 120 of my clients left me during the next, during the next like 9 months, a year. And so I was saying to myself, there has to be a solution out there that'll let me know that my client signed up for a new MAPD, right? And so what would happen a lot of times is my client would sign up for a new MAPD or get flipped to a new plan and they didn't even know it. Or they got flipped to something that was improper and they ended up like having to file a complaint or something, on their own. And so I'm saying to myself, I know the way the enrollments work, right? I know the timing, I know the data's there somehow. There's got to be some sort of solution out there. I couldn't find it, so I built it. All right. So in a nutshell, MediZeus will tell you, the agent, that your client signed up for a new MAPD within 24 hours of them signing up for a new MAPD. Yeah. And not only that, it'll tell you what the future MAPD that they signed up for is. So it'll run, I'll do a little demo in a second, but it'll run your entire book of business. It integrates with pretty much every CRM on the planet. And in a couple clicks, you'll be able to run your entire book of business, see what plan your client currently has, and then if they're switching, see what their future plan is going to be.
And if you're thinking, well, what's really the advantage of this? You're going to see here the math of what this really means to your bottom line. Guys, in our business with Medicare, we don't make quick money. We make long-term money. So retention is huge. That 180 clients or 160 clients that Evan lost cost him. Okay, and it just happens. So whatever we can do to increase our retention, which is what this tool is all about, it increases your bottom line, and it may increase it. And when you look at the math, you're going to see where the immediate is not anything crazy, but you look at the 10-year, the 15-year mark, wow, you're going to see here how much of a difference a couple of percentage points on retention will do. So Evan, let's give them a preview of MediZeus.
Yeah. I'll show you guys a screenshot of what it looks like, and a little bit is going to be blurred out because I don't want to show my clients NDIs. But there's one other thing I forgot to mention, is that normally as an agent, we find out that our client left our book of business when we check on our back office portal with the carrier, whether it be like United Healthcare, Vantage, Jarvis, or Humana Advantage, and we see them as inactive. But that's usually a couple days delayed or a week delayed. So for example, if my client gets flipped in October, I won't see it until November 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, when it's updated in my book of business. Whereas with MediZues, you will know within 24 hours that your client signed up for a new plan. And at that point, it's still compliant to reach out to them because they're your client for the month of, this is October right now. So for the month of October, once that plan switches and they've disenrolled and they've enrolled in a new plan, technically it's non-compliant to reach out to that beneficiary if you don't have some other existing business relationship with them, like you sold them life insurance, annuity, something like that, HIP plan. So just wanted to mention that. So let me show
Evan,
you.
I want to jump on that. So agents, think about this. So we are in early October. If one of my clients gets flipped to a different plan, think about what call centers do. These guys are just churning out calls. They don't, in my opinion, I don't think they got the best interest of the client. They just want to make a sale, and they're going to push for whatever it takes to make that sale. Now, there's also a whole bunch of agents out there that aren't trained properly. I was not trained properly when I started. I was like, go present this plan, do whatever you do to sell it, and get out of there quickly. So if these other agents didn't do their job of checking the doctors and meds, a lot of these seniors may have been moved to a plan that's not to their benefit. A lot of them may have been moved and they don't even know that they have been moved. So what this program is doing, what this software is doing for you guys, it's giving you that opportunity to double check and make sure. Hey, Mr. Client, are you sure? Hey, remember, this is one scenario I'm thinking of. Hey, I put you in this plan because your doctors, your specialists, and your prescriptions are covered. I didn't put you in that other plan because something was off. So now all of a sudden you're on that plan. Maybe it's got a higher OTC. Maybe it has a little more dental, but you're going to lose your specialist. Now what are you going to do? Okay, it may have been a bad decision. So within that month, you can call that client. Hey, John, what happened? Looks like you got moved to this plan. Don't you remember? I put you in the current plan because your specialist, your heart specialist, your cardiologist or whomever is in the network. They are not in the network with that other plan. Well, guess what? They're going to come back and say, I didn't know that. Okay, now you have the ability to do some work and get them moved back to the plan that they were originally on. So guys, this is huge. Now, I will tell you this. If they say, nope, Luis, you know what? I don't like you anymore. I'm done with you, or I'm done with the plan you recommended. I really, really like that other plan. There's nothing you can do, guys. Thank them. Hey, I appreciate your business. Thank you. Hey, by the way, if it turns out you don't like that other plan, call me back. I'll help you out. Okay, I will take you back. But in the meantime, hey, I appreciate it. I got to go. Bye. And you don't hassle them. You just let them do what they've got to do. So that's how I would handle this. Okay, Evan, let's take a look at this thing because this software is exciting, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let me just pull something up and I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Okay. All right, so let me just move you over here. Okay, so this is what MediZues will look like. And this is the desired outcome. So when you open up your dashboard within MediZues, it's going to look primarily blank. You're going to import your data. I have a tutorial video on walking you through how to do that step by step. So I'm not going to go over it like in depth here, but you're going to import your data from your CRM. And what MediZues is going to do is find all of your clients' MBIs and date of births. Okay. So these two first columns are going to be filled with client data. I have the MBIs blurred out just for confidentiality. From here, you hit checkbox on the top left-hand side, and then you hit fetch data. What we're going to do is run a BEQ, a beneficiary eligibility inquiry, the same way that you would with Jarvis or Vantage, and it's going to populate this data here. Okay, so anybody in white up here or below, these people are not leaving. So they have your current contract number, plan name, and enrollment date. All right, so what they currently got and how long they've had it. Now, if you see this person in orange is leaving. They got WellCare Assist. I enrolled them last AEP, so it started the 1st of this year. And I can see that it has an ends on date, and that date is the last day of September. This is a sample from a couple weeks ago. I can see their future contract number. Let me scroll over. I can see their future contract number, their future plan name, and their future enrollment date. All right. and I can see when the data was last fetched, the last day of September. All right. So we know what they currently got, and we know what their future plan is going to be. But let's keep going. We added in another set of data. If you keep scrolling to the right, where it shows their first name, last name, address, city, state, zip. And this is all pulling data from CMS. So this is their data on file with Medicare. It also pulls their LIS level with copayment percentage. So L1 100% or L4 25%, and their Medicaid indicator, whether it be yes or no. It won't show the level of Medicaid, but it'll show if they have yes or no. And this is your entire book. So if you scroll up and down, which I can't do because this is just a screenshot and it's blurred out. But yeah, in the software, you just scroll your entire book of business and you can see everybody.
While I'm seeing this, guys, so think about this. You've got this data in your hand. You know that a client is leaving you on 9:30. You're 9:15. You can now pick up the phone, call that insured. Hey, you're moving to that PPO. Are you aware? Hey, now you start going into where you're just going to try to save that client. Why did you move? What was it about that plan that you moved from your current plan? You more think about what agents do. They're going to go in and they're going to highlight all the beautiful features of that new plan. Okay, that their current plan may already have them, but they're of course not going to tell the agent that. They're going to say, look, our plan has this, and so I think you should come over here. I do know a lot of agents that don't even worry about doing the doctor check or the formulary check, which is not a good thing. But again, that's where you can go in there, do your job again. Hey, Mr. Client, bad move. Okay, yes, that one may have more of this, but you're not going to get this and you're not going to have that. So think about that, guys. This is huge. So there's one other feature of MediZues that got me super excited. Number one, I see this great feature here to retain clients. But Evan, let's talk about the commission tracker, or not really the commission tracker, but the money. Let's talk about production, the amount of money you can make, and then what happens when you increase a couple of percentage points on your retention.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two things here. We're talking about an LTV calculator, which is lifetime value. So there's two things. When I got started in Medicare, I asked Ethan, I asked you, Louise, so I was like, hey, how much money can I make? And what will it look like? And what will my renewals look like? And there was some sort of spreadsheet that Ethan sent me, and I could type in and I could kind of figure it out that way. I'm saying to myself, there's got to be something better out there to get agents excited and be able to set proper goals for themselves and just get psyched about what they can achieve. And the other thing is, while I was building MediZues, I'm asking myself, dude, how am I going to show these agents and agencies how much money they're going to save? Like, how do I get somebody excited about retention? Because on the back end, I know how to do the calculations and I can see like 3% retention increase is like a big deal. But how do I visualize that for agents? So I looked around, didn't see it. Without further ado, let me show you the.
And one thing I love about this, guys, when he shows this, when you're like, oh, I'm going to increase my retention by a couple of percentage. It may not be so exciting, but the actual money is where it gets exciting. So let's show them that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's see here. So we're on MediZues.com. You come into the LTV calculators, and you're going to be presented with this screen. Okay, and when you first hit the screen, it's going to show 175%. So what this box is up here is this is annual production. And let's just say you want to produce 100 policies this year. Your persistency is here, and you can change that. You could change both of them. All right. So let's say, I'm a solid agent and I want to do 300 plans this year. And I'm just going to put, for demonstrative purposes, 84%. I'll show you why in a second. All right. And just hit calculate. So your commission per MA is 301. We're going to update it for 2024, but it's 301 for 2023. And your true MA production is 252. What does that mean? It means that you wrote 300, but only 84% stuck on the books. So you really only got paid for 252 of them. All right. An LTV per policy, per MA. What does that actually mean? What is lifetime value? That means how much money are you going to make on average from your clients over the course of time, over the lifetime of them being your client? Like, we get paid $25 a month, but how much will that actually be over the lifetime of the average client that I acquire? It's going to be $13.48, and that number is based off of your persistency. Okay, if I change the persistency just to go to like 82, you'll see that $13.48 is going to dip down to $12.17. All right, so we're going to put it back up. All right, then we have LTV per MA policy at 87%. Now, this is a constant, meaning that it will never change. You can't change it within this calculation. And if we look over here, you can see that difference between 84%, which is in green, and 87%, which is in orange. All right. And this should make sense. The first year, you got plenty of commission. You're looking at 75,000 in commission. It's going to go down a little bit every year in accordance with your persistency percentage, all right, your retention rate. Same thing, potato, potato. If we come down here, we can look at your commissions over a period of time in this table, and you can see the numbers broken down: 75, 63, 53, 44,000, yada, yada, yada. At the end of 10 years, you're going to have $404,000 worth of commissions come into your pocket. And remember, this is only from 1 year. Okay, 1 year of work, and you wrote 300 people, and 84 stay with you year over year. All right, you're going to have 404,000. If you're at 87% persistency, which is only a difference of 3% because we entered 84, so 87 minus 84 is 3% difference. It's going to look like this on the right side, and you can see that your commissions over 10 years are going to be 473,000. So that's a difference of 70,000 right there, okay? And that's only 1 year of production. Let's say, Luis, you're a awesome agent and you're like, hey, I'm going to go on a tear and just rock it for 5 years. So that's this year plus an additional 4. You do maintain production for how many more years? 4 of them. Okay, so you got 5 years of production in total, and then we're going to say, hey, you're not going to produce anymore. Yeah, year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're on the up and up here. You're growing, you're growing, you're growing. At the end of year 5, year 6, you're slowly dwindling down. All right. If we come down here, you can see that your commissions are going to go up, 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 up for the first 5 years, and then they're going to slowly go down after that. At the end of 15 years, you're going to be making $2 million, and at 87% persistency, you're going to be making $2.3 million. All right, so that's a $300,000 difference. And here's the crazy part: you're not buying any more leads. There's not a single more lead that you need to buy to hit this than you otherwise would. And you didn't spend any more money on marketing, which is, for most agents, their biggest expense. Sometimes it's their only expense. So this does not entail you talking to a single more person. You're going to talk to the same amount of people. You're just going to keep the people that you have. Now, there's one other calculator I want to show you, Luis, before I open it up. Okay, and I didn't show you this before, so this might be new for you. I was like, well, how am I going to show agencies how much money I'm going to save them? Because agencies, your upline, your FMO, is only going to make money when you make money. So what does it look like for them? So let's say you have an agency and you guys are really solid and you do 10,000 plans a year. Okay, that's great. And let's just say you're doing 84% persistency. Now, the agency here is able to input their override, because it might be different with different carriers, it might be different based off your levels, whatever. Let's just put, for simplicity, just for simplicity, $100. Okay, that might be more, might be less. We'll just put $100. Okay, your true MA production is 8,400, which is what you're really getting paid. You wrote 10,000, 84% stuck on the books, 8,400. The lifetime value for an MA policy for an FMO based off of $100 override, and this persistency is 448. At 87%, it's 525. Okay, so a 3% difference looks like this, and the graph is going to look similar over here. All right. Now, this is where it gets kind of nuts. All right. If we come down over 10 years, the agency is going to have overrides of 4.4 million versus 5.2 million. Okay, that's an $800,000 difference. And this is only improving their persistency 3%. 3%. you're going to make an extra $800,000. And this is only 1 year of production, right? This is only if you improve it for 1 year and then you go back to normal. If we improve it this year and we improve it for the next, let's just say 4 years, okay, it gets even gnarlier, okay? This is going to change over here. And if we come down, it's the difference between 22 million and 26 million, right? An extra $4 million. You didn't spend any more money on leads. You didn't call any more people than you otherwise would have. And you didn't spend any more money on marketing. That's the power of retention. That's what gets me excited about MediZues.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I was like, hey, I want to be an agency. Hell yeah, that is crazy. But for a lot of my viewers, a lot of the subscribers, we are all agents. That agency calculator, guys, if you start thinking, well, 3%, you're like, that's nothing to get excited about. But when you look at that final number, that extra, I think I calculated, I think it was $69,000 difference over a 10-year period. That makes a big difference, guys. That is a lot of money that you lost had you not increased your persistency. Let's talk about persistency numbers, guys. What's average out there? What's realistic? Evan, I'll throw my numbers out, but I tell agents, look, there's two things you cannot control. And this, because you cannot control this, I think it's always going to eat up at least 10% of your book. Okay, so no matter what, if you are the best agent with the best plan and people never leave you, you're going to be at about 90. Two things you cannot control: death of a client and relocation. Okay, a lot of times, and not even those two, there's a third one that I see now is where clients are entering long-term care facilities. I'm trying to think of the term, not long-term care, assisted living. Okay.
Yeah.
These organizations will tell their clients to get off an MAPD plan all day long. They want the people to be straight up Medicare. So these are things that you cannot control. So at best, 90. What do you see out there, Evan, that's a good average?
I've talked to agency owners and agents. I think there's three categories here. You have your independent field agent who's meeting people in person. You have your independent field agent who's doing everything over the phone. And then let's just call it a call center rep. Okay. For an independent agent, a good agent should have between 80, 85%. Like, that's solid. You should feel good about that. And maybe with MediZues, we'll increase an extra 3, 5, maybe we'll get you up to 90. Okay. And 90 is the upper echelon. I never really heard of anybody make over 90. But then again, I'm not checking their book of business. I do know one agent who has an exclusive contract with YMCA, and he's got like 93 to 96, but that's like an exception. Then you got the independent agent who's doing everything over the phone. You're going to be lower, but it's probably somewhere like mid 70s. All right. And then just for most call centers, their persistency, I've heard it's anywhere between 49 and 62%. Those are the numbers that I've heard.
Yeah. Over the phone is just not as sticky. There's no relationship. They don't know you. They don't know what you look like. You didn't do the handshake. A lot of our agents give those hugs. There's no connection, and they'll leave you on a dime. When you create that personal connection, when you're doing face-to-face, it does go a long way. The other thing, and you mentioned this, you alluded to this earlier, if you have an existing business relationship and they leave you, you can still contact that client. So the one product that I think is huge for our MAPD clientele is adding HIP. A lot of times those do not get replaced. Okay. So they have a HIP plan, and you're like, what the hell is a HIP? Hospital indemnity. It's where you're going to offer them this additional supplemental product that will cover them for copays for their ER, the hospital, ambulance, and then you can add additional riders to cover dental, vision, hearing. You can add cancer riders. You can add the skilled nursing. There's a lot of additional riders you can add to build that policy up so that you minimize the amount of cost the insurer is going to have because they have an MAP. So if they have that plan, one thing in our industry, the more products you have with a client, the more hooks, the longer they stick with you. Okay, that's huge. So got to realize if your agents are not doing hospital indemnity, hit me up. I got my email down below. I'll get you set up for hospital indemnity. There's 2 carriers that I primarily use. I love them. I'll give you those contracts if you'd like. But the more hooks you can call. You can call even after they leave you because you have an existing business relationship with that client. For me personally, I have a P&C agency. My book is built around that. And so I call them all the time, but they have some product with me. Let me tell you another thing about the ability for us agents with a good book of business with high persistency. You all may not know this, but that book is worth money. And there's organizations out there that will go and buy it. So if you can have a good book of business, high retention, organizations will pay multiples of that annualized income for your book. Okay. I have heard 3, 5 times the value of your book. It's all over the board. There's a lot of depends, but it is worth money. So getting this persistency not only is good for current income, but as well as for the future of what the value of your book is. So let's talk ROI. I did some quick math here. Okay. So you're thinking, well, we'll talk about price. Let's go to price first and then we'll do ROI. Evan, so first of all, guys, I will tell you, if you want to try this out, there's a 30-day free trial. Down below, I'll have my link, my affiliate link with Evan. Use that link to go give this a try. But let's talk about the trial and let's talk about the monthly price.
Yeah. So everybody gets a 30-day free trial, no credit card asked. After that, if you want to keep it, it's $89 a month. And if you want to buy it yearly, you get a 20% off for that.
So let's do some quick math. 89. Okay, I'm not very good with math. I'm just going to round up to 100 times 12. That's $1,200. Okay, we know we're a little less than that. $1,200 a year is your cost. What's the discount if they do annually?
20%. So it comes out to be like $828, I believe.
Okay, let's just take it to 900 for simple math. If you do annually and you're at $900, you need 3 policies that you saved. That's it. So 3 of them left you. You talked to those insureds, you kept them. 3 policies to get your ROI back. Okay, so that's pretty damn quick. Now you start using this to get that retention number up. Now you start seeing the value of what this program can do for you. I think it's it's an incredible tool for us Medicare agents. Last question I've got for you, Evan. I'm thinking, all right, Evan, this is great, but how do I get clients into MediZues? Give us just a little quickie on the import features and what kind of data you need to collect or create so that you can import your book of business.
Yeah, great question. So I made sure that MediZues was compatible with pretty much every CRM out there, just right off the bat. So the way that you integrate your CRM with MediZues is you export your CRM as a CSV file. Okay, and there's one little tweak that you have to make. I made a video that explains like each incremental step. But essentially, you export your book of business as a spreadsheet, and then you import it into MediZues. Now, let's say, and it's going to populate there. MediZues is going to find the MBIs and the date of birth. It's going to map all the data correctly. Now, let's say you have CRM over here with Salesforce, and you got one with Go High Level, and you got one over here with Zoho, for example. Well, you can take a spreadsheet, and you upload it, import it into MediZues, and then it'll stack on top of itself, on top of each other, which is beautiful. If you don't have a CRM, you're missing out. But if you don't have a CRM, then you can export your book of business from UHC or Humana or Cigna. And as long as they have MBIs and date of births in there, MediZues will find them and it'll import them. One other thing I want to mention on data, Luis, is that we take data super seriously, privacy-wise. So MediZues is fully encrypted. We're HIPAA compliant. We're going to be starting our SOC 2 audit at the end of this month, October of 2023. That's a 3-month audit. It's a pretty big deal. It's super expensive, but it makes sure that you know at the end of 3 months that we're completely safe. So we're going to be starting that, and we'll have that completed January of 2024. And by the end of that, we'll basically have a third-party professional auditor write a report and say, hey, MediZues is secure, and this area there's 153 constraints that we have to abide by. So we made it completely encrypted. That's the last point I'll make. We made it completely encrypted. And by we, I really mean I. The reason that I did that is because I knew it would make customer support less effective, in the sense that if you call us or you submit a support request, we can't see your user interface. We have no access to your user data. It's fully encrypted on your side. But what that means is that, God forbid something happens, we're super secure, and we have 256-bit encryption. We have to go through all the constraints of policies to be HIPAA compliant. And then once we have SOC 2, it's going to be even more difficult to, any data to leak. But even if we did hypothetically get hacked, if we got hacked, just for the record, if we got hacked, you could also hack United Healthcare, you could hack Humana, you might as well go after them. But if you did do it to us, then there's literally no data that you can get, because myself, I don't have any access to data. My developers don't have any access to data. Customer support doesn't. The lawyer, the legal team, they don't. Right? Even if they try to, break in, it's kind of like Apple. Apple will never release the security code to get into your iPhone, even if the police ask. Like, if somebody put a gun to my head, Luis, and they said, "Hey, show me what XYZ agent's book of business is like," I couldn't do anything. So yeah, that's just a little bit on data, and that's a really big concern that some agents have. You're muted.
Yeah, I think this is huge, because a lot of agents probably are worrying, well, are you going to see all my clients? And do I have to worry about you maybe, down the road? I leave you, and now you have all of my book of business that you can contact, since you have phone numbers, emails, and all this. No, guys, they cannot see anything. As Evan said, on his side, your side, you're fully encrypted, and your data is your data. I do like one point you mentioned there. If you don't have a CRM, you're missing out. Guys, a CRM is like a hammer to a carpenter. Yes, that carpenter can use a rock or his shoe to hammer that nail in. Sure, why not? He's going to be there all day trying to get that damn nail in. You need to have a CRM no matter what. Okay, it's a cost, yes. But if it's a cost to you, it's because you're not using it right. It's just like this tool. If this is the cost to you, you're not using it right. It should be making you money. And if you're like, what is a CRM? A CRM is a contact tool. That's all it is. It's a way to contact your clients. It's a way to contact your leads. Whatever you input, it's a way to contact them. And then if you use it right, there's a lot of things that you can do. Guys, in my channel, I have a playlist for Agent CRM. That's the CRM that I use day in, day out. I use it for my P&C agency, my Medicare agency, my ACA agency. It is the primary communication tool. There's one thing that you agents don't think about. I've been in business for 22 years. This is not an if it happens, it's a when it happens. You're gonna get sued by a client. Okay, I've been through several ones. I have yet to lose one. Okay, my biggest one, this guy came after me for $600,000, alleging this and this and this. Because of my CRM, and it timestamps my phones, or it records my phone calls, it timestamps my emails, it timestamps my text messages. All of my staff use this as our primary communication tool. Everything that this guy alleged, we were able to counter. Okay, our attorneys from the E&O side were like, oh, this is beautiful, because now they have ammo. Because in our industry, guys, we're the bad guys. We're guilty until we prove ourselves innocent. So the fact that I was able to pull my phone recordings, the fact that I was able to show text messages and emails for all the allegations is huge. So you need, whatever CRM you want to use, they're all good. Okay, they all pretty much do the same thing, but you must have one. And in addition to that, if you're a Medicare agent, guys, this is a great way to manage your book, is having MediZues, because your CRM will not do what MediZues does. It's not the same. Okay, MediZues is not a contact tool. It's just a way for you to find out what's happening with your book of business, which I think is huge. Awesome, Evan. Man, you've come a long way with this software, man. Never did I think it was going to turn into this. I always thought it was going to be a commission tracker, a way to show agents, hey, if I keep doing this, this is what my book will look like. But man, you've turned this thing into a vital tool that agents must have. So guys, if you're interested, down below, click on the more button. You're going to see a link. Click on that link. I'll also post it up here. Make sure that you click on that link and go try this out. 30-day free trial. I like the fact you don't even have to enter your credit card. There's so many free trials in there where you have to enter your credit card. Well, here you don't. Go give it a shot, guys, and see if it's a tool that you can utilize. And if you do, sign up. I don't think you're going to miss out. So thank you, Evan. Appreciate your time today, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Luis.
All right, guys. So don't forget, make sure you like, comment on this video, guys. I check every single comment. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share me to your other colleagues. Not everybody knows me, and I'm trying to grow this channel. I provide a lot of content for ACA and Medicare for you agents so that you guys can be a better agent and make more money. Thank you.